Achieving any goal isn't about hoping things will work out or wishing for better luck. It's about following a set of principles that brings you closer to the results you want. Over the years, I've developed a 5-step process that will take you from where you are to where you want to be, no matter what your goal is. These steps are simple, but don't mistake simple for easy. They require discipline, focus, and persistence. But if you follow them, I guarantee you'll get closer to your goals than you ever imagined. The first step to achieving any goal is clarity. Without clarity, it's impossible to make progress. How many people are out there right now saying they want more out of life, but they don't know exactly what that looks like? They know they want something different, something better, but they've never taken the time to define it. They say, I want more money, or I want to be successful. But what does that mean? How much money? What kind of success? Without specificity, without being clear about what you want, you'll find yourself chasing after vague ideas and never quite reaching them. Clarity is the foundation of all success. It's like setting a target. If you don't know exactly what the target looks like, how can you hit it? You can't. You'll miss every time. So the first thing you need to do is get crystal clear on your goal. Not just in general terms, but in specific, measurable terms. Take some time to ask yourself, what exactly do I want? If it's financial freedom, define it. Does that mean you want to earn $100,000 a year? $500,000. Or maybe it's not about the money, but about the lifestyle. Do you want to work less and spend more time with your family? What does that look like? How many hours a week do you want to work? How much free time do you want to have? The clearer you can be about your goal, the more power you give yourself to achieve it. Once you've got that clarity, you need to visualize it. Close your eyes and see yourself in possession of that goal. Picture what your life looks like once you've achieved it. What are you doing? How are you feeling? Who are you with? This mental picture becomes the blueprint for your success. Your mind starts to work toward what it can clearly see. What the mind can visualize, it can bring to reality. But if the picture is blurry, if the goal is vague, your mind has nothing to aim for. Years ago, I met a young man who came to one of my seminars. He was ambitious, full of energy, but he was all over the place. He told me he wanted to be rich, but when I asked him how much money he wanted to make, he didn't have an answer. He hadn't thought about it. He just knew he wanted more. I told him, you've got to define that. You can't hit a target you can't see. So he went home and did just that. He wrote down a number, $200,000 by the end of the year. And you know what happened? Once he got clear on that number, he started making decisions that aligned with that goal. He focused his energy, his time, and his resources on opportunities that would bring him closer to that $200,000 mark. And by the end of the year, he hit it. That's the power of clarity. So if you haven't already, sit down and write out your goal in detail. Be specific. Be clear. The more specific you are, the more focused you'll be. And the more focused you are, the faster you'll make progress. And once you have clarity, the second step is to create a plan. A goal without a plan is just a dream. It's not real until you've mapped out the steps to get there. Too often, people set a goal and stop there. They say, I want to lose 20 pounds, or I want to double my income, but they never take the time to figure out how they're going to make it happen. And without a plan, you're just wandering around hoping for the best. A plan is like a roadmap. It shows you the path from where you are to where you want to be. And here's the thing. Your plan doesn't have to be perfect. You don't need to have every single step figured out before you start. In fact, if you wait until you have every step figured out, you'll never begin. The beauty of a plan is that it evolves. You adjust it as you go. But what's important is that you have a starting point, a framework that gives you direction. Think of it like this. When you decide to take a road trip across the country, you don't need to know every single turn from the moment you start. You just need to know the main highways, the general route, and then you can adjust for traffic, weather, or unexpected detours as you drive. But you still need that initial map to get started. So once you've got clarity on your goal, the next question is, how do I get there? Break it down into smaller steps. Let's say your goal is to lose 20 pounds. Instead of focusing on the big number, create a plan where you lose 1 or 2 pounds a week. Ask yourself, what changes do I need to make in my diet? How often will I exercise? What resources do I need to help me stay on track? Do I need a trainer, a workout buddy, or a meal plan? Get specific with your plan, just like you did with your goal. The key to a good plan is that it's actionable and realistic. Too often, people make grand plans that are impossible to stick with. They say, I'm going to work out 2 hours every day, give up all sugar, and run a marathon by the end of the month. But that's not sustainable. A plan needs to be something you can follow consistently over time. It's better to start small and build momentum than to set yourself up for burnout by doing too much too soon. Maybe your goal is to start a business. Well, how do you turn that dream into reality? Start with the basics. What kind of business do you want to create? Who are your customers? What do you need to learn before you can launch? Break it down step by step. First, maybe you research your market. Then you create a business plan. Then you look into securing funding or saving money. It doesn't matter how small the steps seem, as long as they move you forward. When I was starting out, I didn't know every step to becoming successful, but I did know that I had to keep learning and improving. So I created a plan to read a certain number of books each month. I set aside time to meet with mentors, and I made sure to apply what I learned every day. My plan wasn't perfect, and I adjusted it as I grew, but it gave me the structure I needed to stay focused. Now remember, flexibility is key. Life happens. Things don't always go according to plan, and that's okay. If something doesn't work out, you adjust. You revise the plan, you try a different approach, but you don't give up on the goal. That's why it's so important to review your plan regularly. Set aside time each week to check in. Are you making progress? Do you need to adjust your actions? Sometimes you'll need to pivot. Maybe a new opportunity presents itself, or maybe you realize you need to learn a new skill to move forward. Whatever it is, be open to adapting, but always keep your eye on the goal. Next, the fourth step is accountability. This is something most people overlook, but it's crucial if you want to stay on track. When you're accountable to someone else, whether it's a friend, a mentor, or a coach, you're far more likely to follow through on your commitments. Why? Because accountability creates a sense of responsibility. It adds a layer of external pressure that keeps you moving forward, even when you don't feel like it. Here's the thing about goals. It's easy to make promises to yourself, but it's just as easy to break them. You tell yourself you'll start working on your goal tomorrow, but tomorrow comes and you put it off again. When no one is watching, it's easy to let yourself off the hook. But when you've got someone holding you accountable, someone who's expecting you to show up and deliver, you're far less likely to quit. Let me tell you about a time when accountability made a huge difference in my own life. I was working on a major project and I knew it was going to take months of consistent effort to see it through. I didn't want to risk getting distracted or losing focus, so I enlisted the help of a mentor. Every week, we'd sit down and review my progress. Just knowing that I had to report to someone else kept me on track. I didn't want to show up empty-handed, so I pushed myself to make progress every single week. Now, accountability doesn't have to be formal. You don't need to hire a coach or find a mentor if that's not an option. You can simply find a friend or a colleague who's working on their own goals, and you hold each other accountable. Set up a system where you check in regularly, share your progress, and encourage each other to stay on track. And if you can't find someone to hold you accountable, hold yourself accountable. One of the best ways to do this is by tracking your progress. Keep a journal, make a checklist, or create a habit tracker, whatever works for you. But make sure you're keeping yourself honest. When you can see your progress or lack thereof in black and white, it's a powerful motivator to keep going. Remember, accountability keeps you moving when your motivation fades. It adds structure to the process and prevents you from falling off track. So, after you've gained clarity, created a plan, and started taking action, make sure you've got a system in place to stay accountable. Now, the final step to achieving any goal is persistence. This is the step that separates those who succeed from those who fall short. Most people give up too soon. They set a goal, they make a plan, they take action. But when things get tough, when they hit that first roadblock or face their first setback, they throw in the towel. But persistence is what turns dreams into reality. It's the willingness to keep going, no matter how hard it gets. Persistence is what separates the winners from the quitters. It's the ability to keep going, to keep pushing, even when things get tough, even when the progress seems slow, or when setbacks appear. Most people don't fail because their goals are too big, or because they're not capable. They fail because they give up too soon. They give up at the first sign of difficulty. They let temporary obstacles become permanent barriers. But persistence is what pushes you through those tough times. How many people do you know who started something, maybe with all the excitement and energy in the world, but then they hit a rough patch and stopped? They never made it to the other side. Now, what if they had just kept going for another week, another month, another year? What if they had pushed just a little bit harder? Success doesn't come to those who try once or twice and give up. It comes to those who stick with it, those who are willing to fail, learn from their failures, and try again. Look at Colonel Sanders. He wasn't an overnight success. In fact, he didn't start KFC until he was in his 60s. Before that, his life was full of setbacks and failures. He worked as a farmhand, a streetcar conductor, a railroad fireman, and even had a law practice that failed. At one point, he was running a small service station in Kentucky where he served his now famous fried chicken. But here's the kicker. When he tried to franchise his recipe, he was rejected over 1,000 times. That's right. 1,000 times. Now imagine that. Colonel Sanders, a man in his 60s, with very little to his name, driving across the country, knocking on doors, trying to sell his chicken recipe, and getting turned down over and over again. Most people would have given up after a handful of rejections. But not the Colonel. He believed in his product, and he was persistent. He kept going no matter how many times he was rejected. Finally, after years of persistence, one restaurant owner said, yes. That was the beginning of what would become a global brand. KFC now operates in over 100 countries, but none of it would have happened if Colonel Sanders hadn't kept going after those 1,000 rejections. That's what persistence looks like. It's the determination to keep moving forward, even when the odds seem stacked against you. Colonel Sanders didn't let failure define him. He used each rejection as a stepping stone to success. He didn't quit just because things weren't working out right away. He kept knocking on doors, adjusting his approach, and eventually found the breakthrough he needed. And that's the power of persistence, staying committed even when everything seems to be telling you to quit. The key to persistence is to understand that setbacks are not permanent. They're temporary. They're part of the process. Every great success story is filled with failures, roadblocks, and disappointments. But the difference between those who succeed and those who don't is that the successful ones keep going. They view setbacks as lessons, as opportunities to grow. They don't let them stop them. They keep moving forward. Here's a little secret about persistence. The moment you feel like giving up, the moment when everything seems the hardest, that's usually when you're closest to a breakthrough. Most people quit right before they're about to succeed. It's like the story of the man who was digging for gold. He'd been digging for weeks, months even, without finding anything. He was exhausted, frustrated, and ready to give up. So he put down his shovel and walked away. But what he didn't realize was that he was just 3 feet away from hitting the gold. 3 feet. If he had just kept digging for one more day, he would have struck it rich. But he quit too soon. That's why persistence is so important, because you never know how close you are to success. You never know when that breakthrough is going to come. So how do you develop persistence? How do you keep going when the going gets tough? The first thing you need to do is stay connected to your why. Why did you set this goal in the first place? What's at stake for you? When you're clear on your why, when you understand the deeper reason behind your goal, it gives you the fuel to keep going, even when you don't feel like it. Maybe your goal is to provide a better life for your family. Maybe it's to prove to yourself that you can do it. Maybe it's to live a healthier, longer life. Whatever it is, keep that reason in front of you at all times. When things get hard, remind yourself why you're doing it. That will give you the strength to keep going. Another important part of persistence is to break your goal down into smaller milestones. If you're always focused on the big goal, it can feel overwhelming and you might lose motivation. But when you break it down into smaller, more manageable steps, it becomes easier to keep going. Celebrate those small wins. Each time you hit a milestone, no matter how small, give yourself credit. That progress keeps you motivated, and it reminds you that you're moving in the right direction. But here's the thing. You do need to be flexible when it comes to persistence. Being persistent doesn't mean being stubborn. It doesn't mean you keep doing the same thing over and over again, even when it's not working. Persistence means staying committed to the goal, but being flexible in your approach. If one strategy isn't working, try another. If you hit a wall, find a way around it. Be willing to adjust your plan, but never give up on the goal. I'm telling you, there were plenty of times in my career when things didn't go according to plan. I remember early on when I was trying to get my speaking business off the ground, and I ran into one obstacle after another. I had financial setbacks. I had speaking engagements that didn't go well. I had people tell me that I wouldn't make it. But I kept going. I adjusted my approach when needed. I learned from my mistakes, and I stayed focused on the goal. And because I was persistent, eventually, things started to fall into place. That's the power of persistence. Now, I want to leave you with one final thought about persistence. Persistence isn't just about grit and determination. It's also about faith. It's about having faith in yourself, faith in the process, and faith that if you keep doing the right things, the results will come. You might not see the results right away, but if you trust the process and stay committed, they will come. Have faith that your hard work will pay off, that your efforts will be rewarded, that faith is what will carry you through the tough times. So, the first thing you need is clarity. Know exactly what you want. Define your goal in precise, measurable terms. Second, create a plan. Break your goal down into actionable steps and create a roadmap to get there. Third, take action. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Just start. Even small actions taken consistently will lead to progress. Fourth, stay accountable. Find someone or something to hold you responsible for staying on track. And finally, be persistent. Keep going no matter how many obstacles you face. Stay committed to the goal and don't give up. These 5 steps aren't just principles, they're a way of life. If you follow them, there's no limit to what you can achieve. Whether it's a personal goal, a financial goal, a health goal, or a career goal, these steps will take you from where you are to where you want to be. So, get clear, make a plan, take action, stay accountable, and be persistent. Success is within your reach. You just have to go after it. The law of attraction is a powerful force, but it's also misunderstood. Some people think it's magic. They believe that if they just sit around and imagine what they want, it will fall into their lap. But that's not how it works. The law of attraction is not about wishful thinking. It's a process. It's a way of directing your mind, your energy, and your actions toward what you truly desire. And when you understand how to use it correctly, it changes everything. Because the truth is, we are always attracting something. Whether we realize it or not, our thoughts, our emotions, and our habits shape the results we get in life. Some people attract success, others attract struggle. Some people bring opportunity into their lives. Others seem to keep running into obstacles. And the difference is not luck, it's not talent, it's not fate, it's focus. Others attract struggle. Some people bring opportunity into their lives. Others seem to keep running into obstacles. And the difference is not luck, it's not talent, it's not fate, it's focus. Everything in life follows the same principle. What you focus on expands. If you focus on problems, you get more problems. If you focus on opportunities, you start seeing opportunities everywhere. If you focus on your limitations, life will reinforce those limitations. And if you focus on your goals with clarity, energy, and intention, the universe begins to align in ways you never imagined. But there's a key difference between people who hope the law of attraction will work and people who make it work. One group waits, wishing for something to change. The other group creates the change. One group asks, why isn't this working? The other asks, what do I need to do next? And that's what we're going to cover. Because this isn't just about thoughts. It's not just about affirmations or vision boards. It's about creating the right inner and outer conditions for success. It's about shifting your beliefs, mastering your emotions, and aligning your daily actions with your long-term vision. Because at the end of the day, the law of attraction is not about attracting things. It's about attracting who you need to become. And once you understand that, you will never struggle with reaching your goals again. The first thing you must understand about the law of attraction is that it starts with awareness. Most people go through life unaware of the thoughts they think, the emotions they cultivate, and the energy they put into the world. But whether you're aware of it or not, your mind is constantly shaping your reality. Every thought you have, every belief you hold, every feeling you reinforce, it all plays a role in what you attract into your life. Think about it. Have you ever noticed that when you're in a good mood, good things seem to happen more often? When you feel confident and capable, people respond to you differently. But when you're stressed, worried, or negative, it's almost like everything starts working against you. The same situation can feel completely different depending on your mindset. That's because the world isn't just happening to you. It's responding to you. And that's why the first step to mastering the law of attraction is to become conscious of what you're thinking, feeling, and believing every single day. Your thoughts are like seeds. Every single one plants something in your subconscious mind. If you constantly think about what's going wrong, you're planting seeds of doubt, struggle, and frustration. If you focus on what's possible, you're planting seeds of confidence, growth, and success. So the question is, what are you planting? Are you filling your mind with thoughts that move you forward? Or are you filling it with doubts and limitations? Because whatever you feed your mind, it will expand. And here's something most people don't realize. Your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's imagined. If you repeatedly visualize success, your mind begins to believe it's possible. If you constantly think about failure, your mind assumes that's what's coming. Your brain is always looking for confirmation of what you already believe. And once you understand that, you realize why so many people stay stuck. They tell themselves they're unlucky. They tell themselves they're not good enough. They tell themselves success is for other people. And their brain goes to work, proving them right. But successful people, they do something different. They train their mind to work for them, not against them. They start by replacing the thoughts that don't serve them. Instead of saying, I'm not good enough, they say, I'm learning, I'm improving, I am capable. Instead of saying, I never have any opportunities, they say, opportunities are everywhere, and I see them clearly. This is not just about positive thinking. It's about rewiring your brain. And science backs this up. Neuroscience has shown that the brain is plastic. It can change. The thoughts you think the most create pathways in your brain. And the more you reinforce those thoughts, the stronger those pathways become. That's why negative people stay negative. That's why confident people keep succeeding. They have trained their brain to expect success. So how do you start shifting your thoughts? How do you reprogram your mind for success? The first step is to become hyper aware of what you're thinking. Pay attention to the way you talk to yourself. Do you lift yourself up or tear yourself down? Do you expect things to work out or do you assume the worst? Because if you don't control your thoughts will control you. And once you've identified your negative thought patterns, the next step is to replace them. This is where affirmations come in, not as wishful thinking, but as a tool to recondition your mind. But here's the key. You must believe what you're saying. If you say, I am rich, but deep down you don't believe it, your subconscious mind will reject it. But if you say, I am learning how to create wealth, or I am becoming more financially secure every day, your mind can accept it. The trick is to phrase your affirmations in a way that feels real to you, something you can truly believe. And the final step, repetition. Because changing your mind is like building a muscle. You don't do it once and expect a transformation. You train it every day until it becomes second nature. Your thoughts create your beliefs. Your beliefs create your emotions. Your emotions create your actions. And your actions create your results. So if you want to use the law of attraction to reach your goals, the first thing you must do is take control of the one thing that shapes everything else, your mind. Once you understand that your thoughts shape your reality, the next step is to harness the power of emotion. Most people believe the law of attraction works by thinking about what they want. But thinking alone is not enough. Emotion is the real driving force behind manifestation. Because thoughts create the blueprint, but emotions give it power. Think about a time when you were deeply excited about something. Maybe you were preparing for a big opportunity. Maybe you had a clear goal in mind and you felt unstoppable. That energy, that feeling, is what moves things forward. Now think about a time when you felt uncertain, doubtful, or fearful. What happened? Did you take action or did you hesitate? Did you attract more opportunities or did you experience more obstacles? This is how the law of attraction really works. You don't just attract what you think about, you attract what you feel the most. And this is where most people get stuck. They say they want success, but deep down, they feel fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown. They say they want wealth, but deep down, they feel lack. They focus on their debts, their struggles, their worries. Your emotions send out signals. just like a radio station. If you're tuned into the frequency of fear, stress, or worry, that's the energy you're broadcasting into the world, and life will reflect that energy back to you. But if you're tuned into confidence, gratitude, and excitement, you begin attracting situations that match that vibration. So the question is, what are you broadcasting every day? Are you radiating confidence or insecurity? Are you feeling empowered or powerless? Because life is not responding to what you say. It's responding to what you feel. And here's the key. You can change your emotions on command. Most people believe emotions just happen to them. They think, I feel anxious because of my situation. I feel frustrated because things aren't working. But that's not true. Your emotions are not caused by your circumstances. They are caused by your focus. What you focus on determines how you feel. If you focus on what's missing, you will feel lack. If you focus on what's wrong, you will feel frustrated. But if you shift your focus to what's possible, to what you do have, to what's going well, your emotional state will change instantly. And here's something most people don't realize. You don't have to wait for something good to happen to feel good. You can generate positive emotions right now. And when you do, you start attracting more things to feel good about. This is why gratitude is one of the most powerful emotional states. When you feel grateful, your energy shifts. You stop focusing on what's missing, and you start seeing abundance everywhere. And when you truly feel abundant, you attract abundance. But gratitude is just one tool. Another is visualization. Visualization is not just about seeing an image in your mind. It's about feeling it as if it's already real. When you close your eyes and picture your goal, don't just see it. Step into it. Feel what it would be like. If your goal is financial freedom, imagine what it would feel like to wake up knowing you never have to worry about money again. If your goal is a strong, healthy body, imagine the energy, the confidence, the strength you would feel every day. And here's the trick. Your brain doesn't know the difference between a real experience and a vividly imagined one. If you visualize something with enough detail and emotion, your mind believes it's real. And once your mind believes something, it starts working to make it true. This is why elite athletes use visualization before competitions. They don't just practice physically, they practice mentally. They see themselves winning. They feel the excitement, the adrenaline, the confidence. And because their mind has already experienced success, their body follows. You can do the same. Start every morning by feeling what it would be like to already have what you desire. Not someday, now. Because when you start feeling successful, opportunities begin to align. When you start feeling wealthy, you start making decisions that lead to wealth. When you start feeling confident, you carry yourself differently, and the world responds. But there's one more step: action. Because here's where most people get it wrong. They think, if I just think about success and feel successful, it will come to me. But that's only part of the equation. The law of attraction works when your thoughts, emotions, and actions are in alignment. You can't just sit back and wait for things to happen. You must act in a way that matches the future you want to create. If you want to be successful, start making decisions like a successful person would. If you want to be wealthy, start managing your money wisely today. If you want to be in great shape, Don't wait for motivation. Move your body now. Because action is the final ingredient that transforms thought into reality. And when you combine the right mindset, the right emotions, and the right actions, you will begin attracting the life you truly desire. Once you have aligned your thoughts, emotions, and actions with your goals, the next step is faith. Faith is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It's the invisible force that keeps you moving forward, even when the results aren't visible yet. And this is where most people lose momentum. They start strong. They think positive thoughts. They feel inspired. They take action. But when things don't happen as fast as they expect, they begin to doubt. They wonder if the law of attraction is even working. They start questioning whether they're doing it right. And that doubt, that fear, it pulls them backward. The universe operates on timing. Just because you don't see immediate results doesn't mean nothing is happening. Imagine planting a seed. You water it, nurture it, give it sunlight, but for a while, nothing happens. You don't see anything above the ground. Does that mean the seed isn't growing? Not at all. It means the roots are forming. The foundation is being built. The process is happening beneath the surface. And if you stop watering it because you don't see instant results, you kill the very thing that was about to grow. This is how faith works. You must believe in your vision before it becomes reality. You must trust the process before you see evidence. Because once you start doubting, once you start focusing on the lack of results instead of the progress you're making, you slow down your own momentum. So how do you develop unshakable faith? How do you stay committed to your vision, even when nothing seems to be happening? The first step is deciding in advance that your goal is already done. Not if it will happen, not maybe one day, but done. When you decide that success is inevitable, everything changes. You stop hesitating. You stop second guessing. You stop looking for backup plans. You move with certainty. You take bold action. You trust that every step, even the small ones, are leading you exactly where you need to go. The second step is learning to detach from the how. One of the biggest mistakes people make with the law of attraction is trying to control how things will happen. They decide exactly when, exactly where, exactly who will be involved. But that's not your job. Your job is to focus on what you want and why you want it. The how will unfold in ways you can't predict. Think about every major success in your life. Did it happen exactly the way you imagined? Or did it come through an unexpected opportunity, a random meeting, a path you never considered? The universe has infinite ways to bring your desires to you. And if you get too attached to just one way, you might miss an even better path. So let go of the need to control every detail. Focus on the vision, take inspired action, and trust that life will align things in ways you can't yet see. The third step is acting as if. When you believe something is already yours, you act differently. You carry yourself with confidence. You make decisions from a place of certainty. And that energy, that belief, starts to shape reality. If you knew without a doubt that your success was guaranteed, how would you behave? Would you hesitate? Would you procrastinate? Would you doubt yourself? Not a chance. You would move with purpose. You would trust yourself. You would act in ways that match the future you're creating. And when you do this consistently, your external reality has to catch up with your internal certainty. Because the law of attraction is not just about what you want, it's about who you become. Now let's talk about one of the biggest obstacles to faith, fear. Fear is what stops people from manifesting their desires. It's what causes hesitation, second guessing, and self-sabotage. And fear is always tied to uncertainty, the fear of failure, the fear of rejection, the fear of the unknown. But here's the truth. Uncertainty is part of the process. You will never have all the answers. You will never see the entire path, but you don't need to. All you need to do is trust the next step, and then the next one, and then the next one. Because faith is not about knowing exactly how things will unfold. Faith is about moving forward anyway. And the more you do this, the more evidence you collect. You start seeing how things align. You start experiencing little coincidences that are too perfect to be random. And that's when faith turns into certainty. So today, make the decision. Decide that your goal is already done. Let go of needing to control how it will happen. Act as if success is inevitable. And when fear shows up, move forward anyway. Because once you master faith, the law of attraction stops being a theory. It becomes a force that works in your favor every single day. Once faith is established, the next step in using the law of attraction to reach your goals is alignment. Alignment means that everything within you, your thoughts, your emotions, your actions, and your habits, is moving in the same direction as your goal. Most people don't struggle because they lack desire. They struggle because they are out of alignment with what they want. They say they want wealth, but their habits reflect scarcity. They say they want success, but they procrastinate. They say they want confidence, but they still entertain self-doubt. The universe is not responding to your words. It is responding to your state of being. If you say, I want to be rich, but deep down, you still feel broke, you will attract more lack. If you say, I want love, but you believe you're unworthy of it, you will push it away. So the question is, are you truly aligned with your goal? Because once you align your internal state with what you desire, the external world has no choice but to reflect it back to you. The first step to alignment is self-image. You will never manifest anything that is out of harmony with how you see yourself. If you see yourself as someone who struggles, you will keep struggling. If you see yourself as someone who is successful, doors will begin to open. This is why changing your self-image is critical. You must become the person who has the results you desire before those results arrive. And this means upgrading your identity. Your identity is the set of beliefs you hold about yourself. It dictates what you think you're capable of, what you believe you deserve, and what you expect from life. And here's the truth. You will always act in alignment with your identity. If you identify as someone who is disciplined, you won't struggle to take action. It will be automatic. If you identify as someone who is successful, you will naturally look for solutions instead of excuses. If you identify as someone who is healthy, making good choices becomes effortless. So the key question is, who do you believe you are? And if your identity is not in alignment with your goals, you must change it. Not by hoping, not by waiting, but by acting as if you are already the person you want to be. Because your actions reinforce your identity. If you act with confidence every day, your mind starts believing you are confident. If you take disciplined action every day, your mind starts believing you are disciplined. And once your mind believes it, reality begins to shift. The second step to alignment is habits. Your life is a reflection of your daily habits. Not what you do once in a while, not what you do when you're feeling motivated, but what you do consistently. And here's where most people go wrong. They set big goals, but their habits don't match. They want to be wealthy, but they have poor financial habits. They want to be successful, but they waste time. They want to be in great shape, but they make excuses. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you habitually do. So the key is simple. Align your habits with your vision. If you want to be wealthy, adopt the habits of financially successful people. If you want to be healthy, adopt the habits of fit and energetic people. If you want to be confident, practice the habits of confident people. Because once your daily actions match your goals, success is inevitable. The third step to alignment is environment. Your environment influences you more than you realize. If you are constantly around negative people, it's hard to stay positive. If your environment is full of distractions, it's hard to stay focused. If you are surrounded by excuses, it's hard to stay disciplined. You must design your environment for success. This means surrounding yourself with people who uplift you, removing distractions that pull you off track, creating an atmosphere that makes it easy to stay aligned with your vision. Because your environment will either push you forward or pull you back. And if you're serious about using the law of attraction, you must make sure everything around you supports your growth. The final step to alignment is letting go of resistance. Sometimes the very thing that blocks what you desire is resistance. The tension, the doubt, the overthinking. The more you need something to happen, the more pressure you create, and pressure blocks flow. The law of attraction works best when you are in a state of ease. When you trust that what you desire is already on its way. When you allow success to come instead of forcing it. This doesn't mean you stop taking action. It means you take inspired action. Not action from a place of fear or desperation, but action from a place of certainty. And when you do this, everything shifts. Opportunities show up effortlessly. Ideas flow naturally. You start meeting the right people at the right time. And what once felt difficult now feels inevitable. Because when you are fully aligned, mind, body, and soul, success is no longer something you chase. It becomes something you attract. The final key to using the law of attraction to reach your goals is persistence. Because even when your thoughts are clear, your emotions are strong, your actions are aligned, and your faith is unshakable, there will still be obstacles. And this is where most people quit. They start with excitement. They visualize. They affirm. They take action. But when things don't happen fast enough, they lose momentum. They start doubting. They start looking for shortcuts. And eventually, they stop. But those who understand how the law of attraction works Know that persistence is what separates success from failure. Think of it like this. Every action you take, every time you align your thoughts and emotions with your vision, you are adding energy to your manifestation. It's like filling a bucket with water. But what happens if you stop too soon? The bucket never fills. The breakthrough never comes. The success that was just around the corner slips away. The universe rewards those who keep going. And the truth is, most people give up right before things start to shift. They stop watering the seed right before it sprouts. They walk away from the path right before the finish line. And the saddest part, they never realize how close they were. So the question is, how do you keep going, even when things aren't happening as fast as you want? The first step is to shift your mindset from outcome-focused to process-focused. Most people attach their happiness to the result. They think, I'll be happy when I reach my goal. I'll feel successful when I get the outcome I want. But this mindset creates frustration. Because when progress is slow, they feel discouraged. When things don't go as planned, they feel like they're failing. But those who truly succeed, they fall in love with the process. They find joy in the daily actions that bring them closer to their goal. They celebrate the small wins. They focus on becoming the person they need to be, regardless of how long it takes. And when you do this, something shifts. You stop feeling desperate. You stop stressing over when things will happen. And instead, you develop a deep trust that every step you take is leading you exactly where you need to go. The second step to persistence is learning to reframe obstacles. Most people see challenges as signs to stop. They think, if things were meant to be, they would be easy. But that's not true. Obstacles are not stopping you. They are shaping you. Every challenge, every delay, every moment of struggle is part of your growth. It is preparing you for the success you desire. Because the universe will not give you something you are not ready for. Think of it like this. If you were handed everything you wanted today, would you be able to handle it? Would you have the discipline, the mindset, the skill set to maintain it? This is why persistence matters, because every setback is actually a setup for the next level. The third step to persistence is building resilience. Resilience is the ability to keep going, no matter what. It is the ability to bounce back from failure, to adapt to challenges, to keep taking action, even when it feels difficult. And here's the truth. Resilience is built through discomfort. Every time you push through resistance, every time you refuse to quit, every time you choose to move forward instead of giving up, you strengthen your ability to handle anything. And the more resilient you become, the more unstoppable you are. The fourth step to persistence is trusting divine timing. There is a perfect timing for everything. Just because something hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it isn't happening. The delay is not denial, it is preparation. There are things being arranged, doors being opened, opportunities being aligned behind the scenes. And just because you can't see them yet doesn't mean they aren't there. So instead of doubting, instead of questioning, instead of feeling impatient, trust. Trust that the right people, the right circumstances, and the right opportunities will arrive at the perfect moment. And in the meantime, keep taking action. Keep aligning your thoughts, your emotions, and your habits with your vision. Keep moving forward, even when you don't see immediate results. Because those who persist always reach their goals. And when you refuse to quit, when you decide that success is non-negotiable, the law of attraction will work in your favor in ways you never imagined. At the end of the day, the law of attraction is not just about thinking positively. It is not about waiting for the universe to hand you what you want. It is about becoming the person who naturally attracts the success, the abundance, and the opportunities you desire. Because success is not something you chase. It is something you align with. When your thoughts are focused, your emotions are strong, your actions are consistent, and your faith is unshakable, the world has no choice but to respond. But remember this, manifestation is not instant. Growth takes time. Transformation takes commitment. And those who truly understand the law of attraction know that it is not just a tool for getting what you want. It is a way of life. Because the truth is, you are always manifesting. Whether you realize it or not, your energy, your beliefs, and your habits are constantly shaping your reality. So the only question is, are you attracting what you truly want, or are you attracting what you fear? Because life will always reflect back to you what you expect, what you believe, and what you are willing to work for. So today, make the decision. Decide to think thoughts that empower you. Decide to feel emotions that fuel you. Decide to take action with confidence and purpose. Decide to trust the process, even when you don't see results right away. Decide that you are worthy of the life you desire. And when you do this, when you fully align yourself with your vision, your goals will stop being distant dreams. They will become inevitable. The new year is here, and with it comes a sense of possibility and renewal. There's a kind of magic in these moments, a chance to reflect on where you've been and decide where you're headed. The beauty of setting goals isn't just in achieving them. It's in the growth, transformation, and focus they inspire. Goals give you direction, something to strive for, and they remind you that life is a journey, not a destination. The right goals have the power to shape not only your actions, but your mindset. They help you prioritize, make better choices, and step into the best version of yourself. This isn't about chasing someone else's idea of success or doing what's trendy. It's about identifying what truly matters to you and aligning your actions with your deepest values. Each goal you set becomes a promise to yourself, a declaration of what you're willing to work for and why it matters. The process isn't always easy, but it's worth it. The pursuit of meaningful goals teaches discipline, patience, and resilience. And when you look back on the year, it's the effort and progress that you'll remember most, not just the outcomes. The year ahead holds endless possibilities. The goals you choose will shape the story you tell about this chapter of your life. As we begin this journey together, think about what you truly want and why it matters. Because when you set the right goals, you're not just creating a plan for the next year. You're laying the foundation for the life you want to live. The first goal to set for yourself this year is to prioritize your health. It's a foundational element of everything else you want to achieve. Without physical and mental well-being, even the grandest goals can feel out of reach. Yet, health is often the first thing we take for granted and the last thing we address when life gets busy. This year, make it a non-negotiable focus. Prioritizing health doesn't have to mean drastic changes or overwhelming commitments. It's about consistent, intentional efforts that improve your overall quality of life. Start by assessing where you are now. Reflect on your current habits, from your diet to your sleep patterns, and identify areas for improvement. Often, it's not the big, dramatic actions that make the difference. It's the small, sustainable habits you build over time. Consider making sleep a priority. The modern world often glorifies hustle and long hours, but science consistently shows that adequate sleep is essential for both physical health and mental clarity. Aim to establish a bedtime routine that allows you to get enough rest each night. Rested minds think clearer, solve problems better, and have more energy to face challenges. Nutrition is another cornerstone of health. This year, focus on eating in a way that fuels your body and supports your goals. It's not about restrictive diets or chasing perfection, but about balance and mindfulness. Pay attention to how food makes you feel. Choose meals that nourish and energize you rather than leaving you sluggish or unfulfilled. Prepare more meals at home. Experiment with wholesome ingredients and cultivate a deeper appreciation for how your choices impact your body. Movement is equally vital. Regular physical activity strengthens not only your body, but your mind. Exercise releases endorphins, reduces stress, and boosts your mood, creating a ripple effect across every area of your life. Find an activity you enjoy. Consistency matters more than intensity. Even 20 minutes a day can make a significant difference if you stick with it. Mental health is an inseparable part of your overall well-being. Set aside time to care for your mind as intentionally as you do your body. Mental health is not something to manage only in times of crisis. It's a lifelong practice of self-awareness and self-care. Building healthy habits often requires a shift in mindset. Instead of thinking of health as a chore or obligation, view it as an act of self-respect and empowerment. Your body and mind are the tools that allow you to pursue every other goal in your life. Treating them well isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. Accountability can make all the difference. Share your health goals with someone you trust or join a community that supports your efforts. Having others to encourage and celebrate your progress can keep you motivated and on track. Finally, remember that health is a journey, not a destination. There will be setbacks and challenges along the way, but they don't define your progress. What matters is your commitment to keep moving forward, one step at a time. By prioritizing your health this year, you're not just adding years to your life, you're adding life to your years. Next, the second goal to set for yourself this year is to deepen your relationships. Life is enriched by the connections you share with others, yet relationships often take a back seat to work, obligations, or the pursuit of individual goals. This year, make it a priority to nurture and strengthen the bonds that matter most to you. Relationships form the foundation of support, joy, and growth in your life. Start by reflecting on your current relationships. Consider who brings positivity, encouragement, and growth into your life. Think about the people you may have unintentionally neglected and those with whom you'd like to build a deeper connection. Relationships are like gardens. They require regular care and attention to flourish. One of the most powerful ways to nurture relationships is by being fully present. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to be physically in one place while your mind is somewhere else. When you're spending time with someone, give them your undivided attention. Put away distractions, listen deeply, and engage wholeheartedly. Presence communicates value and respect in a way that words cannot. Communication is at the heart of any strong relationship. This year, focus on improving how you express yourself and how you listen to others. Clear, honest, and compassionate communication builds trust and understanding. If you've been holding back from having meaningful conversations or addressing unresolved conflicts, consider making this the year you break through those barriers. Approach these moments with empathy and a genuine desire to understand the other person's perspective. Acts of kindness are another powerful way to strengthen relationships. Small gestures often have the biggest impact. A thoughtful note, an unexpected favor, or simply showing appreciation can create lasting warmth and connection. Take time to acknowledge and celebrate the people in your life, what they mean to you and how they've contributed to your journey. Gratitude has a magnetic quality. It draws people closer and deepens bonds. Setting boundaries is a crucial aspect of healthy relationships. While it may seem counterintuitive, boundaries protect and preserve connections by ensuring that interactions remain respectful and balanced. If you've been overextending yourself or feeling drained by certain relationships, this is the year to set clear limits. Boundaries are not walls. They are guidelines that help maintain mutual respect and understanding. Consider making a conscious effort to expand your social circle as well. Building new relationships can be just as enriching as nurturing existing ones. Seek out opportunities to meet people who inspire and challenge you. Expanding your network can open doors to new experiences, perspectives, and opportunities. Forgiveness is another key element of deepening relationships. Holding on to grudges or unresolved resentment can weigh heavily on your heart and hinder connection. While forgiveness doesn't mean condoning harmful behavior, it does mean freeing yourself from the burden of anger and bitterness. This year, reflect on relationships that could benefit from forgiveness and take steps toward healing. Celebrate milestones and shared experiences. Shared memories are the threads that weave relationships together. Make an effort to mark these occasions. These moments of celebration strengthen the sense of connection and create lasting joy. Lastly, invest in your relationship with yourself. Self-awareness and self-compassion are the roots of all healthy relationships. When you nurture your inner world, you show up more authentically and positively in your connections with others. Make time for self-reflection, personal growth, and the practices that bring you peace and balance. By setting the goal to deepen your relationships this year, you're choosing to prioritize what truly matters. Relationships are not only a source of love and joy, but a mirror that reflects your own growth and potential. As you nurture these bonds, you'll find that the rewards go far beyond the connections themselves. They create a life of greater meaning, fulfillment, and harmony. Next, the third goal to set for yourself this year is to cultivate resilience. Life is unpredictable, filled with challenges, setbacks, and moments that test your strength and determination. Resilience is not about avoiding difficulties. It's about developing the capacity to face them with courage, adaptability, and hope. Setting this goal will empower you to navigate the ups and downs of life with grace and confidence. Resilience begins with perspective. How you interpret and respond to challenges shapes your ability to overcome them. When faced with adversity, pause and ask yourself what the situation is teaching you. Instead of focusing solely on the problem, shift your perspective to explore potential solutions, opportunities for growth, or lessons hidden within the difficulty. This mindset doesn't eliminate challenges, but equips you to face them with a sense of purpose and control. Building resilience requires a foundation of self-awareness. Take time to reflect on how you typically react to stress, uncertainty, or failure. Are there patterns of thought or behavior that hinder your ability to bounce back? Perhaps you tend to be overly critical of yourself, avoid asking for help, or dwell on what went wrong. By recognizing these patterns, you can begin to shift them, replacing self-limiting habits with empowering ones. Physical well-being plays a significant role in resilience. Your body and mind are deeply interconnected, and caring for your physical health strengthens your ability to handle stress. Regular exercise, a balanced diet, and adequate sleep create the energy and vitality needed to tackle challenges. Even small adjustments, like a daily walk or consistent bedtime, can have a profound impact on your overall resilience. Emotional regulation is another cornerstone of resilience. Life's challenges often trigger strong emotions, frustration, fear, sadness, or anger. While it's natural to feel these emotions, learning to manage them constructively is essential. Practicing mindfulness, deep breathing, or simply pausing to reflect can help you regain control and approach difficulties with clarity. Resilience thrives in an environment of support. Surround yourself with people who encourage, uplift, and believe in you. A strong support network provides perspective, encouragement, and practical assistance when needed. Don't be afraid to lean on others during tough times. Resilience is not about going it alone, but about building strength through connection. Adaptability is a skill that fuels resilience. Life rarely goes exactly as planned, and the ability to pivot and adjust is crucial for long-term success. Cultivate a mindset that embraces change as an inevitable part of growth. Instead of resisting change or clinging to what's familiar, practice flexibility and openness. This doesn't mean abandoning your goals, but finding new paths to achieve them when the original plan no longer works. Resilience involves setting realistic expectations. Perfectionism can undermine your ability to cope with setbacks as it creates an all-or-nothing mindset. Embrace the idea that progress, not perfection, is the goal. Allow yourself room to make mistakes, learn, and grow. Celebrate small victories and acknowledge the effort you're putting in, even when the results aren't immediate. One of the most empowering aspects of resilience is the ability to rewrite your narrative. When challenges arise, the story you tell yourself about what's happening and what it means can either strengthen or weaken your resolve. Instead of seeing setbacks as failures, frame them as opportunities to build character and wisdom. Remind yourself of past challenges you've overcome and the strength you've demonstrated before. Gratitude is another powerful tool for building resilience. It may seem counterintuitive to focus on gratitude during tough times, but acknowledging what's going well creates a sense of balance and hope. Gratitude doesn't ignore difficulties. It highlights the positives that coexist alongside them. This shift in focus can re-energize you and help you see the bigger picture. Finally, resilience is a skill that grows over time. The more you practice facing and overcoming challenges, the stronger your resilience becomes. Each obstacle you navigate builds your confidence and equips you with tools for the future. Resilience is not about avoiding life's storms. It's about learning to dance in the rain. By setting the goal to cultivate resilience, you're preparing yourself to face whatever the year ahead may bring. You're choosing to approach life with strength, adaptability, and a spirit of hope. Resilience doesn't eliminate challenges, but it transforms how you experience them, turning difficulties into opportunities for growth and triumph. The fourth goal to set for yourself this year is to enhance your ability to communicate effectively. Communication is at the heart of every relationship, opportunity, and collaboration. How you communicate determines the quality of your interactions and the impact you make in the world. Setting this goal will strengthen your personal and professional relationships while boosting your confidence and influence. Effective communication begins with listening. Many people think of communication as the act of speaking, but true connection happens when you actively engage with what others are saying. Listening goes beyond hearing words. It's about understanding the emotions, intentions, and perspectives behind them. Make it a habit to give others your full attention when they're speaking. Resist the urge to formulate your response while they're still talking. Instead, focus on understanding their point of view, asking clarifying questions, and acknowledging their feelings. Clarity is a cornerstone of effective communication. Whether you're having a casual conversation or delivering an important message, strive to express yourself in a way that is clear and concise. Avoid overloading your message with unnecessary details or jargon that could confuse your audience. Instead, focus on the core idea you want to convey. Practice organizing your thoughts before speaking, and don't be afraid to pause to gather your words if needed. Body language plays a significant role in how your message is received. Your posture, facial expressions, and gestures can either reinforce or undermine your words. Maintain open and confident body language to convey approachability and assurance. Make eye contact to show engagement and interest. Be mindful of your tone of voice, as it can convey sincerity, enthusiasm, or empathy depending on the situation. Empathy is a powerful communication skill that fosters connection and understanding. Before responding to someone, consider their perspective and emotions. Empathy doesn't mean you have to agree with everything the other person says, but it shows that you value their feelings and are willing to see the world through their eyes. Empathy strengthens trust and creates an environment where open dialogue can thrive. Learning to manage conflicts constructively is another vital aspect of communication. Disagreements are a natural part of human interaction, but how you handle them can either strengthen or damage your relationships. Practice staying calm and composed during conflicts. Focus on the issue at hand, rather than resorting to personal attacks or defensiveness. Seek solutions that address both your needs and the needs of the other person, fostering collaboration instead of division. Flexibility in communication is essential for reaching diverse audiences. People have different communication styles, preferences, and ways of processing information. Adapt your approach based on who you're speaking with and the context of the conversation. Some people prefer detailed explanations, while others value brevity. Being able to tailor your message to your audience demonstrates respect and increases the likelihood of being understood. Developing assertiveness is key to effective communication. Assertiveness involves expressing your thoughts, feelings, and needs clearly and respectfully without diminishing the perspectives of others. It's a balance between passivity and aggression, allowing you to stand up for yourself while maintaining positive relationships. Practice using I statements to communicate your experiences and desires without assigning blame or making demands. Building your vocabulary and refining your language skills can enhance your communication. The more precise and articulate you are, the easier it becomes to express your ideas effectively. This doesn't mean you need to use overly complex words, but expanding your vocabulary gives you the tools to convey nuances and create richer conversations. Feedback is a valuable part of communication, both giving and receiving it. When offering feedback, aim to be constructive and specific, focusing on behaviors rather than personal traits. Similarly, when receiving feedback, listen with an open mind and a willingness to learn. Feedback is an opportunity for growth, not a personal attack, and embracing it will help you continuously improve your communication skills. A significant part of effective communication is knowing when to remain silent. Silence can be a powerful tool, offering space for reflection or emphasizing a point. It can prevent misunderstandings that arise from speaking impulsively. Use silence strategically to create a rhythm in your conversations and to ensure that your words carry weight and meaning. Communication extends beyond words to your actions. Aligning what you say with what you do builds credibility and trust. People are more likely to listen to and respect you when your behavior reflects the values and principles you communicate. Consistency between your words and actions reinforces your authenticity and strengthens your influence. The goal of improving communication isn't just about becoming a better speaker. It's about deepening your connections, building understanding, and creating impact. As you work on this goal throughout the year, you'll find that your ability to convey your ideas and connect with others transforms your personal and professional relationships. Effective communication isn't just a skill. It's a pathway to greater confidence, trust, and success. Next, the fifth goal to set for yourself this year is to cultivate greater emotional resilience. Life is full of uncertainties, challenges, and setbacks, but how you navigate them determines not only your ability to succeed, but your overall sense of well-being. Emotional resilience isn't about avoiding difficulties. It's about developing the strength to face them with grace, adaptability, and a sense of purpose. Resilience begins with self-awareness. Understanding your emotions, triggers, and responses allows you to manage them more effectively. Pay attention to how you react in moments of stress or disappointment. Are your reactions helping or hindering your ability to move forward? Journaling or reflecting on your experiences can provide valuable insights into patterns of thought or behavior that may need adjustment. One of the most effective ways to build resilience is to reframe challenges. When difficulties arise, it's easy to fall into a cycle of frustration or self-pity. Resilient individuals choose to view obstacles as opportunities for growth rather than as insurmountable barriers. Ask yourself what you can learn from the situation and how it can strengthen you. This shift in perspective transforms adversity into a stepping stone for progress. A strong support network is an essential component of emotional resilience. Surrounding yourself with people who uplift, encourage, and challenge you creates a foundation of stability and connection. These relationships provide a sense of belonging and offer perspective during tough times. Don't hesitate to reach out for help or lean on others when needed. Resilience isn't about facing everything alone. It's about knowing when to seek support and allowing others to contribute to your strength. Taking care of your physical health is closely tied to emotional resilience. Regular exercise, adequate sleep, and a balanced diet all play a role in maintaining emotional stability. Physical well-being creates the foundation for mental clarity and emotional balance. When your body is strong and well-nourished, you're better equipped to handle the stresses and demands of life. Resilient people practice mindfulness and stress management techniques. Deep breathing, meditation, or even taking a moment to pause and center yourself can help you stay calm and focused in the face of challenges. These practices allow you to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively, reducing the likelihood of being overwhelmed by emotions. Developing emotional resilience involves embracing imperfection. Life rarely unfolds exactly as planned, and perfectionism can be a significant source of stress and disappointment. Resilient individuals accept that setbacks and mistakes are part of the journey. Instead of dwelling on what went wrong, they focus on what they can do next. This mindset frees them from the paralysis of regret and enables them to keep moving forward. Gratitude is another powerful tool for resilience. Shifting your focus from what's going wrong to what's going well helps you maintain perspective. Even in the midst of challenges, there are always aspects of life to appreciate. Cultivating gratitude fosters a sense of abundance and optimism, which can counteract feelings of defeat or despair. Flexibility and adaptability are hallmarks of emotional resilience. Life is unpredictable, and rigid thinking can leave you feeling stuck when plans go awry. Resilient people remain open to change, adjusting their approach when circumstances shift. This adaptability allows them to navigate uncertainty with confidence, knowing that they can handle whatever comes their way. A key element of resilience is the ability to set boundaries. Protecting your time, energy, and emotional well-being is essential for maintaining balance. Learning to say no to demands or relationships that drain you allows you to focus on what truly matters. Boundaries create a sense of control and help you prioritize your own needs while still being available for others. Celebrating small victories along the way reinforces your resilience. Acknowledge the progress you make, no matter how incremental it may seem. Each success, no matter how small, builds your confidence and reminds you of your ability to overcome challenges. These celebrations fuel your motivation and keep you focused on your long-term goals. Resilience is not a fixed trait. It's a skill that can be developed and strengthened over time. It requires practice, patience, and a commitment to self-growth. Each time you navigate a challenge successfully, you build a reservoir of strength that prepares you for the next obstacle. The more you practice resilience, the more natural it becomes to face adversity with courage and determination. By setting the goal of cultivating emotional resilience this year, you equip yourself to handle life's ups and downs with confidence and grace. Resilience doesn't mean you won't face difficulties. It means you'll rise stronger each time you do. It's the foundation of a fulfilling and successful life, allowing you to pursue your dreams while maintaining your balance and well-being. The sixth goal to set for yourself this year is to establish a clear financial strategy that supports both your short-term needs and long-term aspirations. Financial health isn't just about earning money. It's about managing it wisely, aligning it with your values, and ensuring it serves as a foundation for the life you want to create. Developing a thoughtful approach to your finances can reduce stress, increase opportunities, and give you the freedom to pursue what truly matters. The starting point for a sound financial strategy is gaining clarity about your current financial situation. Take an honest look at your income, expenses, savings, and debts. Understanding where you stand allows you to identify areas for improvement and opportunities for growth. Avoid the temptation to ignore financial realities out of fear or overwhelm. Knowledge is power, and clarity is the first step toward control. Once you understand your financial picture, it's essential to set clear and meaningful financial goals. These goals should be specific, measurable, and tied to your priorities. Having well-defined objectives gives your financial strategy direction and purpose. Write these goals down and review them regularly to stay focused. Budgeting is a cornerstone of effective financial management. A budget isn't about restriction, it's about intention. It allows you to direct your money toward what matters most while avoiding unnecessary spending. Start by categorizing your expenses into essentials, discretionary spending, and savings. Track your spending to identify patterns and areas where you can cut back without sacrificing your quality of life. A well-crafted budget empowers you to make intentional choices and ensures that your money aligns with your goals. Another critical aspect of financial strategy is managing debt. Debt can be a significant barrier to financial freedom, but it doesn't have to define your future. Prioritize paying off high-interest debts while avoiding the accumulation of new ones. If possible, consolidate debts to simplify payments and reduce interest rates. Remember, every dollar you use to reduce debt is a step toward financial independence. A financial strategy isn't just about numbers. It's about aligning your money with your values. Take time to reflect on what truly matters to you and how your financial choices can support those priorities. For some, this might mean saving for a family vacation or investing in personal development. For others, it could involve supporting charitable causes or building a legacy. When your finances reflect your values, you experience a greater sense of fulfillment and purpose. Avoid comparing your financial journey to others. Everyone's circumstances, goals, and values are different, and what works for someone else may not align with your vision. Focus on your progress and celebrate the milestones you achieve along the way. Financial success is a personal journey, not a competition. Regularly reviewing and adjusting your financial plan is crucial. Life is dynamic, and your financial strategy should adapt to changes in income, expenses, goals, or priorities. Schedule periodic check-ins to assess your progress, celebrate your successes, and make any necessary adjustments. This proactive approach ensures that your finances remain aligned with your evolving needs and aspirations. Lastly, educate yourself continuously. Financial literacy is a powerful tool for building confidence and making informed decisions. Read books, attend workshops, or seek advice from trusted professionals. The more you understand about managing and growing your money, the better equipped you'll be to navigate challenges and seize opportunities. By setting the goal of establishing a clear financial strategy, this year, you take a critical step toward creating stability, freedom, and peace of mind. Financial health is not about wealth for its own sake. It's about creating a foundation that allows you to live the life you envision. With intention, discipline, and a commitment to your goals, you can transform your relationship with money and unlock opportunities for growth and success. Next, the seventh goal to set for yourself this year is to cultivate stronger, more meaningful relationships. While personal achievement and growth are essential, the quality of your connections with others greatly influences your overall well-being and success. Relationships provide support, perspective, and a sense of belonging that enrich every aspect of life. By prioritizing relationships as a goal, you create a foundation of trust, love, and collaboration that benefits both you and the people around you. Building meaningful relationships begins with presence. In a world filled with distractions, being fully present when you interact with others is a powerful way to deepen connections. This means giving your undivided attention, actively listening, and responding with empathy. When people feel heard and valued, they are more likely to open up and invest in the relationship. Presence creates a sense of mutual respect and understanding that strengthens the bond between you. Another important aspect of relationships is consistency. Strong connections aren't built overnight. They require ongoing effort and care. This means checking in regularly with the people you value. These small but consistent actions show that you care and are invested in maintaining the relationship. Trust is the cornerstone of any meaningful relationship. Building trust involves honesty, reliability, and authenticity. It means following through on your commitments and being transparent about your intentions. Trust takes time to establish, but can be lost quickly, so it's essential to handle it with care. When people trust you, they are more likely to rely on you, confide in you, and collaborate with you, creating a strong foundation for mutual growth. Empathy is a skill that enhances relationships in profound ways. By putting yourself in someone else's shoes, you gain a deeper understanding of their emotions, needs, and perspectives. Empathy fosters compassion and reduces conflict, making it easier to navigate disagreements or challenges. Practicing empathy doesn't mean you have to agree with everyone, but it does mean showing respect for their experiences and feelings. Boundaries play a crucial role in maintaining healthy relationships. While it's important to invest in others, it's equally important to protect your own well-being. Setting clear boundaries helps prevent misunderstandings and ensures that your relationships remain balanced and respectful. Boundaries are not about creating distance, but about fostering mutual respect and ensuring that both parties feel valued and supported. Gratitude strengthens relationships by creating a culture of appreciation. Taking the time to express gratitude to the people in your life fosters positivity and reinforces the connection. These small gestures build goodwill and deepen bonds. Gratitude reminds you to focus on the positive aspects of your relationships rather than dwelling on shortcomings or conflicts. Conflict is inevitable in any relationship, but how you handle it determines the outcome. Successful relationships are not devoid of disagreements. They are marked by the ability to resolve them constructively. Approach conflicts with a mindset of understanding rather than confrontation. Focus on finding solutions that work for both parties rather than assigning blame. This approach not only resolves the immediate issue, but strengthens the relationship by demonstrating commitment and respect. Diversity enriches your relationships and broadens your perspective. Seek out connections with people from different backgrounds, cultures, and experiences. Engaging with diverse perspectives challenges your assumptions and helps you grow. It creates a richer, more vibrant network of relationships that supports your personal and professional development. Relationships thrive when both parties are willing to invest in mutual growth. Look for opportunities to support the goals and aspirations of the people in your life. Celebrate their successes, offer encouragement during challenges, and collaborate on shared projects or interests. This mutual investment creates a sense of partnership and shared purpose that enhances the relationship. Prioritize quality over quantity in your relationships. It's better to have a few deep, meaningful connections than many superficial ones. Focus your energy on the people who align with your values, inspire you to grow, and genuinely care about your well-being. These relationships will have the greatest impact on your life and provide the most fulfillment. Time is one of the most valuable gifts you can give to a relationship. In today's fast-paced world, carving out time for the people you care about shows that you value them. These moments of connection create lasting memories and strengthen bonds. Finally, be open to vulnerability in your relationships. Vulnerability is what allows you to connect on a deeper level and build trust. It means sharing your thoughts, feelings, and experiences honestly, even when it feels uncomfortable. Vulnerability fosters authenticity and creates a safe space for others to do the same, deepening the connection and strengthening the relationship. By setting the goal of cultivating stronger relationship this year, you create a network of support, trust, and inspiration that enhances every aspect of your life. Meaningful connections are not just a source of happiness. They are a cornerstone of success, resilience, and personal growth. With intentional effort and a commitment to nurturing your relationships, you'll build a foundation of connection and collaboration that serves you well in the year ahead and beyond. The eighth goal to set for yourself this year is to prioritize balance and well-being in your life. While ambition and hard work are vital for achieving your goals, neglecting your physical, mental, and emotional health can lead to burnout, dissatisfaction, and even setbacks. True success is not just about accomplishing tasks or reaching milestones. It's about creating a sustainable, fulfilling life that supports your growth and happiness. Balance begins with understanding your priorities and ensuring they align with how you spend your time and energy. Many people fall into the trap of overcommitting, saying yes to every demand or opportunity without considering the cost. This year, commit to evaluating what truly matters to you and ensure these priorities are reflected in your daily choices. Well-being is not a luxury. It's a foundation for everything else in your life. When you take care of yourself, you increase your capacity to perform, connect, and contribute. Physical health is a cornerstone of well-being, and small, consistent habits can make a significant difference. Regular exercise, a balanced diet, and adequate sleep are not just good for your body. They improve your mood, focus, and resilience. Prioritize these habits as non-negotiable parts of your routine. Mental health is equally important. Life's challenges can take a toll on your mind, especially if you're constantly juggling responsibilities or striving to meet high expectations. This year, make it a goal to nurture your mental health through practices like mindfulness, journaling, or seeking professional support when needed. These practices help you manage stress, stay grounded, and maintain clarity even in the face of uncertainty. Emotional well-being often requires examining your relationship with yourself. Are you kind and compassionate toward yourself, or do you hold yourself to impossible standards? This year, commit to practicing self-compassion. Acknowledge your efforts, forgive your mistakes, and treat yourself with the same care and understanding you'd offer a close friend. Self-compassion isn't about lowering your standards. It's about creating an inner environment that supports growth and resilience. Boundaries play a vital role in maintaining balance. Without clear boundaries, it's easy to overextend yourself, leading to exhaustion and frustration. This year, set boundaries that protect your time, energy, and well-being. Learn to say no to commitments that don't align with your priorities or add unnecessary stress to your life. Boundaries are not about shutting people out. They're about creating space for what truly matters. Time management is a key component of balance. A well-structured day allows you to meet your responsibilities while leaving room for rest, recreation, and connection. This year, experiment with scheduling techniques that help you stay focused and productive without feeling overwhelmed. Find a system that works for you and stick to it. Balance involves making time for joy and play. In the pursuit of success, it's easy to overlook the importance of fun and relaxation. Yet these moments of joy are essential for your overall well-being. This year, prioritize activities that bring you happiness. These experiences rejuvenate your spirit and remind you of the richness of life beyond work or obligations. Social connections are a powerful source of balance and well-being. Building and maintaining relationships provides emotional support, perspective, and a sense of belonging. This year, make an effort to nurture these connections by spending quality time with friends and family, seeking out new communities, or simply reaching out to check in with someone you care about. Strong relationships are a buffer against stress and a source of encouragement during challenging times. Balance requires flexibility. Life is unpredictable, and rigidly adhering to a plan can sometimes cause more stress than it alleviates. This year, practice adapting to change with grace and resilience. Recognize when it's time to adjust your approach or reprioritize, and give yourself permission to let go of perfectionism. Balance isn't about doing everything perfectly. It's about creating a rhythm that works for you. Gratitude is a simple but effective way to foster balance and well-being. By focusing on what you're thankful for, you shift your perspective from what's missing to what's present. This practice helps you stay grounded and appreciate the journey, even when challenges arise. Make it a habit to reflect on your blessings daily. Take a moment to pause and acknowledge the good in your life. Finally, balance is about giving yourself permission to rest. In a culture that often glorifies busyness, rest can feel unproductive or indulgent. Yet, rest is essential for recharging your energy, maintaining focus, and preventing burnout. This year, prioritize rest as an integral part of your routine. Rest is a powerful tool for sustaining your well-being and effectiveness. By setting the goal of prioritizing balance and well-being this year, you lay the foundation for a life that is not only successful, but deeply fulfilling. Balance is not a destination. It's an ongoing practice that requires awareness, intention, and commitment. As you create harmony between your goals, responsibilities, and self-care, you'll discover that true success is not about pushing harder, but about living in alignment with your values and aspirations. As you begin this new year, there's a unique opportunity to redefine what success means for you. Setting meaningful goals is not just about creating a checklist of accomplishments. It's about intentionally designing a life that aligns with your values, aspirations, and potential. The goals you set are not just endpoints. They are guiding stars that illuminate the path forward, giving you purpose, focus, and momentum. These goals serve as a reminder that growth doesn't happen in leaps and bounds, but in small, consistent steps. They challenge you to stretch beyond your comfort zone while remaining grounded in what truly matters. They encourage you to embrace discipline without losing sight of joy, to seek progress without sacrificing balance, and to pursue excellence with compassion for yourself and others. As you pursue these goals, remember that the journey will not always be smooth. There will be setbacks, distractions, and moments of doubt. But these challenges are not barriers. They are opportunities to learn, adapt, and strengthen your resolve. The act of setting goals is not just about achieving them. It's about becoming the person who can achieve them. It's about cultivating resilience, focus, and a sense of purpose that carries you forward, no matter what obstacles arise. This year, approach your goals with a spirit of curiosity and exploration. Be open to adjusting your plans as circumstances evolve. Allow yourself the flexibility to pivot when necessary, but remain steadfast in your commitment to growth. Success is not about rigidly sticking to a script. It's about remaining true to your vision while navigating the complexities of life with grace and determination. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small. Each step you take toward your goals is a victory, a testament to your dedication and perseverance. Take time to acknowledge your efforts, reflect on what you've learned, and appreciate the journey. This practice of gratitude and self-recognition fuels your motivation and reminds you of the progress you're making, even when the finish line feels far away. Surround yourself with people who support and inspire you. Relationships play a vital role in your success, providing encouragement, perspective, and accountability. Share your goals with friends, loved ones, or trusted allies who can cheer you on and help you stay on track. Remember, you don't have to navigate this journey alone. Success is a collective effort as much as it is an individual one. Finally, approach this year with a mindset of possibility. The goals you've set are not just aspirations. They are declarations of your belief in what you can achieve. Trust in your ability to rise to the challenge, to learn from every experience, and to create a life that reflects your highest potential. The coming year is a blank canvas, and with intention, effort, and resilience, you have the power to paint a masterpiece. As you take your first steps into this new year, hold on to the knowledge that every goal is within reach when pursued with purpose and determination. The journey ahead is yours to shape, and the possibilities are as limitless as your willingness to dream, act, and persevere. This is your year to grow, to thrive, and to achieve the extraordinary. Let these goals guide you, and let your vision inspire you to create a life that truly fulfills and excites you.